Like Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace?
No. From Home Improvement.
He says Wilson, like he screams at Wilson?
Well,
constantly.
Isn't Wilson his neighbor that's always covered like this?
Yeah, but why would he say Wilson? Like
That's
he just
true. I don't know. Why did I say it like that?
I don't think he ever yelled at Wilson.
No,
Wilson
I don't think he ever did.
All the time.
He was actually sage advice.
Oh,
What
man.
the hell was my brain thinking there?
Dude, I thought you were thinking of... I thought you were talking about the volleyball, man.
Oh.
But then I was like...
He's yelling when he's in the water. He's yelling to try to get Wilson back.
Wilson!
I was definitely not thinking that movie.
Oh, that's all I thought you were thinking about. Whoopsies. Okay. Dude, we're live. We're streaming, man. This is up on Twitch right now.
We're streaming?
Hello, Twitchverse.
Twitchers.
Twitcherverse.
Twitchers. You guys ready?
I don't see us, dude. I don't see us.
One of my Twitchers.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. For all of you who listen to Submersion and own an Android device, go to the Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It's a fantastic app that allows you to get all of your favorite podcasts directly on your Android device. I personally use the app and I love it. I can search for the podcast I want to listen to, select it as a favorite, and have it just a click away. Make sure to select Submersion as a favorite so you don't miss any of our new episodes. Again, the app is the Podcast Republic app, available on Android devices. Episode 120.
Woo!
Crazy. 120. We've been gone for a few weeks. We're back.
Baby, we're back.
I take the blame. I take the blame because
Baby, we're back.
I'm foisting these movies on you. You're all like, no thanks, and I'm forcing you to do it.
I mean, Jamie's good movie month probably didn't help grease the wheels, but there were a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's a very busy time.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some rough ones.
Well,
we're back with a vengeance. And almost did that for my countdown. Almost did the top 5 comebacks of all time.
Really?
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
I was going to leave it ambiguous. I was hoping that I was going to get some sports, some like
I would say MJ
celebrities that kind of return to the spotlight. I mean, what else? What other comebacks are there? I'm not even.
Celtics once came back from down like 23 against the Nets. I remember that one.
The Celtics were on the some of the sports list multiple times that I looked at. Plenty of good Celtic action.
Patriots against the Falcons.
Number 1 on a list I did look at was the ALCS when the Red Sox were down 3-0 and won.
Just all Boston sports. Everything I love is a comeback.
Wow. Just great. Never enough. Never enough Boston sports.
No.
Well, man, there's been a lot going on. It's been craziness.
In our lives or in the world?
Both.
See, everywhere, right?
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
I think Zach's got the biggest news.
True.
What happened? What did I do?
I wouldn't know.
Jamie would not know. Really, no one knows for sure other than you and Carly, and you're efficient.
Correct. That is correct.
And the state of Ohio. State of Ohio knows.
And God.
Billy Madison. Anyways, you guys want to hear my news?
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to hear my news?
Want to hear news?
Oh, I see it. You see it.
Margarita
Now,
time.
for all you listeners out there, that's me showing my left hand up in the air, and I have a ring on my hand now, on a finger actually, not the whole hand. That would be more like a bracelet. But I got married.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you joined the crew. We're all married. You finished everyone.
Alex and I.
Well, no, I mean, Bram, you're married to this podcast and your work.
That's true. I am married. I'm married to both those things. I could get married to the mustard man, and then we'll just
finish it. Yeah, that's true. If it ended up being a case where you had to be married to be on a podcast, I'm not sure why they'd pass that law, but that would be a good loophole to get through.
Oh yeah, I mean, plenty of other benefits too, besides being able to get on a podcast. But
I think that's the main one.
Yeah.
Probably be one. That'd be my main one.
In the scenario I'm setting up, where the only benefit to getting married is that you are allowed to make podcasts, it's the primary reason you would.
Every other benefit goes away.
Right, exactly. The only benefit is now you can host podcasts.
Is your brother Patrick is married too, right?
He is also married.
So you're good to go with the twin cast.
Oh yeah. The other in this scenario also your wife or husband has to be on the podcast with you. So all our wives and / husbands would have to come on the podcast as co-hosts.
Ooh.
What if the submersion scenario was that one night? I mean, Alex and I could even take a back seat. You know, we could do a couples submersion. The three of you guys could have your wives on. And,
Couples night. Oh my
Talking about
God.
Danzig. I could get Danzig on here, but my actual wife would not do that.
Yeah, I don't think mine would either.
I think we burnt through some of our good
So
good submarine rom.
Just be Zach and his new
rom-com.
bride, and they can do the couples night.
And we burnt through all the good submarine rom-coms, I think.
Oh, there's got to be something. There's got to be
tonight,
something.
yeah, that's true. I mean, after tonight, we will have burnt through all of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of tonight.
Speaking of tonight.
What did we watch?
I think we have to. I think someone has to come in with something in order to get us to the point where we talk about what we're watching tonight.
I can see his hands, and they are not on that.
They're not doing it. They're not even doing it. Dive!
What began as an innocent conversation among friends would soon spiral out of control and later be referred to by future generations as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Mac East Studios takes you on the journey of your lifetime as your captains, the artist formerly known as Brom, Jamie the Ointment, Kyle El Capitan, and the Gruesome Twosome present Submersion. Woo-hoo!
Kyle was not picking up what we were putting down.
I did eventually. It's been a minute. I've been out.
You're just having a grand old time.
Yeah, I am.
Chit-chatting.
I'm loving it. You blew it. I loved her. You blew it. Hey, blurry man, what are you doing over there?
I'm trying to figure out why I'm so blurry.
Yeah.
Maybe it means I'm smart.
What?
Speaking of smart, Zach, what did we watch tonight?
We watched a classic film from the 90s, right before the Y2K and that crazy stuff. A little movie called Stealth Fighter.
And yeah, it was kind of crazy because you watch the movie and you'd think 1996, 1995, what are we thinking? And at one point they make a joke about Men in Black, and I'm like, my God. It came out after Men in Black. Oh, wait, no.
They did that?
What do you mean?
They made a Men in Black reference?
Yeah. When the people come to let the main character know that he's got a new mission, she's like, there's the Men in Black.
That is out of control. You know why?
Yeah.
You know when this movie took place in, like, they even showed it in the title?
Present day.
1986.
No. And this is a good way we can launch directly into the recap of this movie.
Yeah.
The beginning of the film takes place in 1986.
Oh, my bad.
Did I
miss like the little, oh, hey, now we're going to present day?
Yes,
Shoot.
You did.
Now it all makes sense because I thought everything happened within like a few days.
Well, I'm not surprised because no one aged a single day, even though apparently 13 years passed between the beginning of the film and then the rest of the film.
I just saw a few photos of myself from college.
Yeah, you look no different.
Same. Yeah.
I noticed you commented on that. Did somebody like repost that as a flashback, or were you just like going through old photos?
No, it showed up. That was 7 years ago or something.
Okay, because that
was after college.
Yeah, because that was like a awkward group. Had some ex-girlfriends and stuff in there.
Ooh, not mine.
Not yours, but close friends.
All right. Anyways,
that's the stop talking about that alarm, isn't it?
We got Stealth Fighter, tagline: the ultimate street fight at 50,000 feet.
Seriously, that's the tagline.
That's what I'm seeing. And it stars none other than Ice-T as Owen Turner, Kostas Mandalore as Ryan Mitchell, our main character and hero, the one and only Ernie Hudson as President Westwood. Yeah.
Hey, meta moment here. While watching this, because we were watching it on Plex with ads, I got a advertisement for LA Confidential or some TV series that's on now that has Ernie Hudson in it.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, pretty wild.
Dude, some of those advertisements, so you can watch the show for free on Plex, like he's talking about. I was writing down the names of some of these shows because the ads look so insane. I was like, I might check this out. Did you
They
guys
also
see the
got an
one for
advertisement
Sister
for a
Street
smoothie.
Fighter?
What was it?
Sister Street Fighter?
No.
No.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good. And then there was a Nick Cage movie from 2019. I was like, anyways.
I got an advertisement for some like South Beach Smoothie Shack or something that was releasing a new, like,
what?
it was releasing like a new pita sandwich or something like that. I was like,
What
I've
kind
never
of
heard
stuff
of
are
this
you
place.
into, man?
I don't know. Obviously not targeted ads.
Yeah.
Mine were.
Anyways, this was directed by none other than Jim Wynorski. Now, he is a famed kind of softcore porn type director.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he's done all kinds of stuff. But he was also the director, uncredited reshoots of Agent Red.
Oh, that's him?
Stormcatcher, the one that they kind of cut into. Agent Red, Submerged. I'm looking at some of these other ones he has. The one we just watched from badmovietwins.com, that's badmovietwins.com, was Munchie. He was the director and writer of Munchie, or Munchies. Yeah. Well, wait, that's weird. Munchie. Oh, the sequel. He made the sequel to Munchies. Sorry. I knew there was something having to do with Munchies that he was part of. The sequel, Munchie.
The Ernie Hudson Show is LA's finest.
I'd watch
Got
that.
Here.
But yes, Jim Wynorski, famed exploitation movie director.
Amazing. And also starring in this little William Sadler action and Alex Manessis.
Yeah. All right, should we get into this?
I
All right.
think we should. The opening is amazing, Jamie. You better do it justice. That opening shot.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to remind me. Make sure I do it justice. How about you do it justice?
All right. The camera slowly begins to zoom in, and all of a sudden, clap! Two hands smack together, and water explodes, and we are in the middle of the arm wrestling match of a lifetime, because everybody looks at Ice-T and you're like, that guy has some of the biggest arms I've ever seen.
That's what I think of. When I think of Ice-T, I think muscle
Look at
for
that
Dave.
guy. Why
Interjection.
Biceps.
you got your hand up? Why you got that crip hand up? What's going on?
Are you putting two and two together now? I told these guys before the cast that I had a relevant reason to mention why I had this.
I know why.
On.
I know. Zach knows.
Zach, regale us.
Well, I guess I was sitting in a room listening to my friend Ben talk about himself, and he shared a story about the time he had an arm wrestling match and hurt his forearm.
I forgot I told you that. I was at a bachelor party and we had a arm wrestling competition and sprained my wrist.
Not
because
you lost.
Because you won so hard. You just
no, unfortunately I
dominated
lost. Although I think I was a stronger competitor. I was stronger, but I was not the better competitor because he was doing the like over the top bullshit.
He
turned the arm to you.
He turned his hat backwards and then got over the top.
Yeah, he pulled his hat backwards and then he went over the top and he was pulling the arm to himself. I'm ready to do, just kind of the left and right kind of deal, which I'd already beat someone doing that, and then I played the next guy basically ladder style, and he was pulling it to himself and yanked, and I tried to pull back and try to get out of that position, and I heard a loud pop, and that was all she wrote.
Ooh, man.
I mean, that's tough because you got to review the tapes. You got to really look at that technique. I mean, Sly Stallone really set the bar, and you didn't clear it, unfortunately.
I did not.
Stallone.
I let him down.
And it is too bad because I think you really needed that truck that you were arm wrestling for, right? For your
I did, yeah. I would have really enjoyed having that truck to drive David Mendenhall around.
Right.
So about this movie, huh?
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
so
man.
anyways, it was like a nice Predator.
Sounds like a violent weekend, man. I crashed in an unofficial bachelor party and there was no violence at all.
Unless
No one,
other
no
than
one
the
impressed that I know
Heinz.
the actor's name from Over the Top that played the little boy.
No, I'm very impressed. I thought you were
Yeah,
joking.
that's good. I thought you just made that up, honestly.
Yeah, I thought you were
No.
just making up names.
It's my it's the bachelor party I was at. His favorite movie is Over the Top.
Oh, so that's
Surprised
why
we
you
didn't
were
watch
doing it.
it.
That makes sense. Yeah. Anywho, it's basically a Predator high five. If everyone knows that reference, Arnold Schwarzenegger high fives. They go like that, but it's really arm wrestling. At first, I'm like, "Whoa, is this Predator?" No, it's not. It's Stealth Fighter, even better. And they are doing arm wrestling for days. Ice-T's got big old muscles. He's going against our guy Mitchell, whatever Mitchell. And they're like shit talking each other. They have a friendly but not so friendly relationship with each other because Ice-T, they were both trying to get into this new program called Deep Sleep. That's what it sounds like, Deep Sleep. And Mitchell, he passed all the tests. Psychologically, he's sound of mind. Ice-T, bonkers crazy, right? So he's out of it. And Ice-T is, he basically is thrown to the wayside. He's real pissed. You can tell he's not really joking around. He's like making fun of Mitchell. Marquez?
Sorry,
I feel like I'm watching
you're watching the
Ohio
stream-
coronavirus update.
Yeah, Zach's doing like this interpretive reimagining of what
language. I
Jamie
think-
what Jamie is narrating here is quite incredible.
Right.
I think that's real sign language we're watching. Like
Right.
I said, I felt like I was watching that lady on the Ohio coronavirus updates. That was impressive.
So, anyways, they are called to a mission. They're in the Philippines, and they have to go or not in the Philippines. They have to. That's later. They have to go, and they're on a mission to take out
Nicaragua,
some
man.
Nicaraguan.
Cocaine
Armory?
fields.
Well,
Yeah.
so they say they basically they're talking about how it's like, remember the war on drugs? Like, why are we even doing this?
Yeah, they're
It's got
taking down a
war on
power
drugs.
plant and like a munitions depot to just
Right.
below that to smithereens.
Right. But he's like, yeah, it's all under the guise of the war on drugs. And like, we're going to use that. We're going to hit these cocaine fields, but also maybe a couple will miss and hit this like plant and that kind of stuff. And so off they go, 2 different planes, one with Ice-T, one with Mitchell, and they're going off. And it's all stock footage. Did anyone recognize the stock footage for this one?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, so it's Flight of the Intruder. That's what it's from. And so you can kind of tell because obviously 1999, not everything would be like models and that kind of stuff. It's kind of very practical effects for a lot of this stuff. And they get all the way through, and basically Ice-T pretends that his plane is going down, but instead he shoots his co-pilot and ejects at the last minute. They think he's dead. And our hero, Mitchell, is able to ignore orders. He's a renegade. He's a wild card, if you know what I'm talking about.
He's a bit of a
You know what I'm
wild
talking about,
card.
guys? Yeah,
Oh,
he's pretty
yeah.
much a wild card. You know, guys? And he goes off and totally bombs a bunch of these munition areas and that kind of stuff, despite them saying, like, come back, even though your co-pilot's dead and that kind of stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he gets chewed out for doing this because he directly quote unquote chewed out, little fake chew out.
Yeah. It's a little weird because the scene is basically like this admiral being like, why the long face? And Mitchell has to be like, because all my friends died.
I know, right? And then he's like, well, I guess that's just the price of war, whatever. So it was really strange.
Yeah. It was real weird. And he's basically like, leave the politicking to me. I'll take care of business. You got to keep your head in the game, that kind of stuff. What happens next?
Flash forward, right?
Yeah. So we head up to, I think it's in the Philippines.
Oh, no. Sorry. Right now, he's like, all right, everything's okay. But now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these terrorists in ski masks show up and they assault the base.
That's right. That's in the Philippines.
It's time to steal the stealth fighter.
That's when it switches to present
That's
day.
when it switches?
Yeah. So Ice-T is presumed dead, having tricked everyone. Apparently 13 years later.
That was some good trickery, I got to say.
Yeah.
That's some like Chris Angel mind freak shit that he's got going on, right? I mean, you're in a plane, it explodes, but you're like, huh, faked my own death.
It was obvious though to a viewer that Ice-T is not dead.
Right, and also
Wow.
that I was surprised a little bit that they didn't try to pull a little twist him up with him being the bad guy a little bit longer.
Yeah, they
'Cause
didn't.
obviously-
They didn't take any time messing around with that.
No, he's a bad guy from the get go, pretty much. So, anyways, yeah, he steals a stealth fighter. They get up. Some people are killed, but he's able to get away. Ice-T now has a stealth fighter, and he flies it apparently to Angola, the African country of Angola, where a Nicaraguan terrorist has created a compound where he is going to start to organize the ultimate scheme where he will obtain not really billions at this point. It's not really billions of dollars, right? Like his main
Not-
scheme is to
Not
release
yet.
prisoners.
It
Yeah.
will get there, but not at this time.
He wants his like political ally or his imprisoned terrorist allies to be released by the United States. And so they've also taken over a satellite. Did anyone recognize that satellite?
Sputnik.
Nope.
Well, they say what it is in the movie. Are you saying it's something different than that?
It is from a James Bond movie.
Moonraker.
Ooh.
Diamonds are forever.
Forever, forever.
That the scenes of the satellite are all from Diamonds Are Forever.
Huh. I noticed it
Wow.
shot a laser beam, but it was supposed to be EMP.
Right. Yeah, so apparently they make
Did
this
not
as
look
being
correct.
it's basically supposed to be the satellite is the remains, it is Star Wars, the Reagan era Star Wars,
Is that
and it's been
Sasquatch?
defunct or out of commission for like a decade or whatever. And the terrorists are able to take over that, hack into it like elite hacksaws, and are able to shoot their first warning shot, which is taking out the USS Normandy in the South Atlantic. And by shooting this EMP, this premier LA class submarine falls to the bottom of the ocean. And that is our submarine for the entire film. And it is pretty much the most side story innocuous submarine I think we've ever had.
It
mostly
wasn't
has nothing to
even
do with it.
wasn't necessary at all. What
Right.
do you got over there? Oh, I like that. Also, something that we didn't even mention is the guy who's been hiring Ice-T. He has this absolutely knockout, gorgeous wife. And
Right.
Ice-T has no problem, like right in front of his boss, just being like shooting her the eyes, or he even like grabs her and kisses her at one point. You're
Yeah.
like,
It's a little upsetting.
this guy's going to
Kind
get
of-
his throat slit. But
Non-sensual kiss of this lady who really is pretty clear has no interest in Ice-T.
yeah.
Multiple times she's like not interested.
But dude, he's just that good, I guess, right?
Well, not really, because eventually, I mean, they don't actually kiss or
Very true. Very
Anything.
true.
spoiler alert, but it doesn't end well for her.
No.
So, anyways, the ultimate scheme is basically they have this satellite and they're going to threaten Washington, release these prisoners, or we're going to take the satellite and it's going to go into attack mode and crush a bunch of targets we've already programmed into it. And we also have the stealth fighter, and it's going to go out and potentially bomb stuff if you don't listen to us. So they've got like two things. And then we also have the submarine, which is like a little insurance policy. We've notched out the submarine. We know where it is, and we can kind of take it out whenever we want. And it's going to be a little insurance policy. So if you try anything, we're going to go out in our stealth fighter and destroy that submarine. You best believe. And so
But don't worry, man. They're sending that stealth fighter out doing all kinds of little bombing runs.
everything.
And it's so great because they don't waste literally any time showing Ice-T flying around the earth, doing anything like that. They're like, hey, we got a target in Russia. Wherever he's in Nicaragua, okay, whatever. Like 5 seconds later, all you do is you see a stealth bomber fly over and just bomb, do a bombing run. You're like, guess he got that one. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And most of the time, it has nothing to do with the actual plot by the terrorists. It's just like my rival is like selling something, go kill him. And Ice-T's like, got it, boss. And off he goes flying. And he keeps on shooting off, like, put it in my account in the Bermuda, put it in an account in Swiss Bank, put it in the account in whatever.
I did like eventually how the guy was like, how many accounts do you have?
He's like, as many as I need.
I know, because I was wondering, they're like, are they going to... I didn't know if they just kept saying, "Oh, just name a place to have an account," but
Right.
they did make reference to it. So
I do, yeah, I get the feeling that
Bonus
Ice-T
points.
wrote most of his lines.
See, now that's cool, right? If I could come into a movie and they're like, you get to do your own stuff, it'd probably be garbage.
Just make the character as you go.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, President Ernie Hudson, he's like, what are we going to do, guys? And he assembles a crew, and they're going through all this stuff. And one of the guys is like, this terrorist has funneled millions of dollars into your campaign. Like, we can't blow him up. It's going to be a huge scandal. And I was like, what a weird plot line to even interject into here. A terrorist is like funding your campaign? Like, whatever. And then someone else comes in and is like, forget that. Like, we're going to send in an elite group, SEAL Team 6 level shit going on here. And we're going to take this, this asshole out. Don't even worry about it. And they're like, but who could we possibly have out there that could do the job? Who is it?
It's our boy. It's our fighter pilot, Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up SEAL Team 6 because they treat this guy like he's a Navy SEAL or like a Green Beret or something. And I'm like, all we know about him is he's a fighter pilot, right?
But he was in deep sleep. He was in that special program.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah, he's like elite. He's like super elite Haxor. And so he's got some like personal stuff going on, right? Because we see him, he's visiting his daughter. He's like a little bit estranged from his wife. They're like separated, it seems like. He's got an apartment. He's like, I hate my apartment. And he's like, take me back, babe. Take me back, babe. Come on, babe. Come on, babe. Babe. And then
babe, wait. Babe. Babe, wait.
And
I thought Zach could get on that reference.
Good. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, all right. Whatever.
Will Arnett.
And so but she's basically like, I never know, you're like risking your life. Can't do it. And she's like, I applied for a desk job. No more going out all night on these fighter pilot missions. I'm gonna be here with you, riding a desk for you and my daughter. And she's like, oh my God, like, I love that. And have fun with our daughter. And he's like, great. What are you doing today? And they're basically like, schwink to the camera, because off they go and they fly all about in like a little plane doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
I mean, like what, a 5 or 6 minute scene? It felt like it drug on for literally hours.
It was a little much given the child actor they had.
I know, because they were just, his daughter has some new boyfriend, right? And I mean, we're talking this kid's maybe like 8 or 9, I don't know, maybe a little older than that. So obviously it's nothing serious or whatever. And then he's like, is your mom seeing anybody? She's like, oh, the mailman. Oh, yeah. And also the milkman.
Pool boy. Oh, yeah. There's a million people.
And like,
and you're like, okay,
it was
great.
that going on for a decent chunk of an hour-and-a-half movie.
Right. And then it's all stunts. All the scenes of the plane are from a movie called Iron Eagle. Check it out, guys, if you haven't watched it. It's pretty great. And they fly around for a bunch. But then when they land, they see, here come the man in black, because 2 people come out, government G-men, and the kid's like, there's the man in black, and he's like, schwink, just as good quality movie. And he walks up to them and is like, okay, I got to take care of this. And so when he returns his daughter to the mom, he's like, last mission, I'll be back for Thursday for her school like meeting thing. You best believe. But I'm expecting a smooch. I'm expecting to make out hard. And she's like, okay, I'll leave a candle in the window, which was really funny to hear because I literally used that phrase with you, Kyle, the other day. And I was like, wait, how is this phrase coming up twice in a week? Seems so crazy.
It's really weird.
Yeah, real strange.
Because I was like, what kind of reference is this, Jamie? Yeah. I'm like, I guess it's in all these movies you watch all the time. Just
must be.
Candle in the
window. Anyways, he's like, I gotta head out. And so he gets the briefing. He's like a hot shot, and the president's basically like, are you ready for this? And he's like, I'm ready for anything, Mr. President. Duh. And President's like, Ernie Hudson's like, good man, get in there. You're going in with like a Marine crew or whatever, SEAL team. And you guys are gonna go in. You got to either fly that stealth plane away or destroy it. They're gonna take care of business elsewhere. And we're like, great, this is gonna be such a short movie. They're gonna go in and destroy them. It's all great. But what happens, Kyle?
Dude, things don't go so great.
No,
and they don't destroy them right away.
And why is that?
Because Ice-T's there, man, and he gets to command the troops.
Almost is also.
They get the jump.
We get the hint. Someone's on the horn, letting them know, tipping them off.
Yes.
That these people are on the way.
And how do we know that? Because Ice-T does what any good employee does. He busts in on his boss and his wife about to get it on.
Oh, yeah. They're Frenching.
They are.
For sure. And so anyways, they basically ambush the people. A couple of the SEAL team are able to survive. And they kind of like, okay, abandon ship, we're getting out of here. But Mitchell's like, my job's not done. I gotta do something about this whole situation. So I'm sticking around, and I'll get in contact with the submarine or the ship off the coast, and I'll try to keep in contact, try to figure out what I can do on the ground. And they're like, great, okay. And so basically everything's gone to shit, and they get a direct contact from the terrorist being like, we know that you fucked this all up and you screwed us. So you better believe that when this satellite comes over the United States, we're wiping you guys out. So have fun with that.
Like, no way, man. Don't do it, please.
Yeah.
And then right here's where they out their mole, like, instantly.
Yeah, basically, right? Well, so I think, so more or less at this point, there's some jockeying. I think maybe Ice-T goes off for a mission. He quickly goes and bombs like another terrorist group or whatever.
Yeah,
or does he doesn't, but does he? No, he doesn't yet bomb the submarine, right? Oh, yeah, never mind. So here is where he shoots the main terrorist, and you're like, oh, twist! I didn't expect that. And he comes onto the camera, and he's like, guys, I need $10 billion.
I think it was 30 billion.
Whatever it was with a B. It was a billion.
Lot. It was.
He does not want to deal with these stupid millions anymore. He wants that billion with a B. He wants to be a billionaire popping peas. And
it's great. It's really great for podcasting.
That's good podcasting.
Everybody loves those, what they're called as plosives. So that's really nice.
Some plosives.
Yeah.
And so
L on some T's.
Yeah. So he tells Tiny
J all
Lister
over some B's.
So Tiny Lister's one of the crew for the terrorists, and he's like, "Are you in?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then the wife is like, "I'm not in," and he has to shoot this lady. So as I said, like, didn't end.
And after he shoots her, so funny. He's like, "Oh, damn, what a waste!"
What a waste. Yeah. He wanted to make out of there.
He did.
And then he gets on the horn. He basically says, "I want $1 billion or more than that," and all that junk. And he's like, "I don't care about the prisoners. I don't care about any of that stuff. Just give me the money. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the money." And that's that. And then he goes off to let them know what's what, because after this, because they out the mole, which was the admiral, the guy in the beginning who was
William
helping
Sadler.
politics.
If you don't know who he is, you've seen him. If you don't recognize that name, you've seen that guy in movies.
Bill and Ted's.
Okay, Zach just drew a picture of William Sadler. So
yeah, you can see it.
It's Hangman.
Anyways.
C.
Anyways, oh wow, cod. O.
A.
Anyways, continuing on. Oh my God, cat
T.
How'd you guys know?
Oh, we're good.
Oh boy,
we're pro word games.
Off the rails. Good podcasting.
No, it's just people need to watch our visual podcast now on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah. And so, get out of here. Get out of here.
Like it's interrupting Jamie. Jamie's just distracted by Zach holding up drawings of cats.
Sorry, I'm that guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind recapping for 2.5 hours. But Ice-T, he goes off. Because they've located the submarine and they're going to bring it up. And so as they're bringing it up, everyone on the submarine, again, we've gone to the submarine. Every once in a while, they go into the submarine. At first, it's like, oh, the submarine sunk. Then they're like, how are the scrubbers? How's it going? We're getting oxygen. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, okay. And then everyone's sitting there like, boy, oh, boy, this is really tough. We're having a really tough time down here. Great. And then they're like, finally, this final scene, they're like, wait, who's here? We're getting Morse code. We're getting rescued. And they start going up. And Ice-T just zooms by on a plane and blows them to smithereens.
I know, it was amazing.
It's like, wait. What the fuck?
I know, because he also killed like the rescue crew, everybody.
Like... and it had a really funny scene with Ernie Hudson too, because he's the president. He's riding around, and he gets a call, and he's like, great, they've located the submarine where they're going to be rescued. And then 5 seconds later, they get another call, and the guy goes, the submarine got blown up, and everyone was killed, including the rescue team. It's like, Did they? Why is this even in the movie? I don't even understand.
Dude, the
It's
submarine
shot like 4 times for no reason. They
made
just
no
blow it up.
sense. The submarine was completely
You could have cut it out.
unnecessary. And we're a
Cut it out.
submarine movie podcast. And that submarine was completely unnecessary.
It was extraneous to the plot entirely. You could cut it out with no change to the movie.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
other than that scene where Ice-T bombs it, right?
It makes you think that they maybe have had that film footage for something else, but then they never were able to put it into a movie, and so then they were just like, we'll put it into this movie, so at least we use it or something. I don't even know.
Potentially. I mean, that would make more sense than the plot of this movie.
So anyways, Ice-T returns from blowing up that submarine. He comes back. Our main hero is there, and he's being told, you got to make sure to destroy the computer. You got to go destroy the satellite. And so he quickly, what we see is he drops a GPS into the stealth fighter that's now back. He runs around. He's able to find the computer and is able to knock out the satellite, basically put it into self-destruct mode. And right before it gets over the United States, he blows it up. And everyone in the United States is like, hooray, hooray. We destroyed the satellite. Everyone's happy about that. He then goes out, and Ice-T is the last person he's got to go after. And basically, they get into fisticuffs. There's like some fist fights going on.
Oh,
and he
they even do the
beat up.
classic like we've seen in some of these other bad movies where literally people have guns and they're like, we're not going to use them. I'd rather take you on hand to hand.
And they do. And actually, Ice-T gets the one up on him. He really could have just killed him right there. No big deal. But he goes, you know what? Even worse than death is watching me do this. And he jumps into a stealth fighter and zooms off. And then, leaving behind a jet that's much faster than the stealth fighter. They even say that. Well, the jet's much faster. He'll catch up, no problem. Our hero is able to jump into that jet, fly after him. He's way faster, so he catches up. Ice-T, I guess, is relying on his maneuverability and like his skill as a fighter pilot. And it's basically like, you're not going to blow me up, bro. But Mitchell's like, remember that GPS that we always used? Guess what's in your plane? Jokester. And fires off a missile that's, I guess, keyed in on his GPS signal. And it goes up and just blows him up.
I don't know, that was kind of weird, right? Like,
Yeah,
because it was a GPS watch and he just was able to locate it with his missile. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe he's a technological wizard. Anyways, he gets back, talks to Ernie Hudson. Basically, Ernie Hudson's like, "You're a hero. I love you. Is there any, way I could thank you?" And our hero's like, "Well, it's my daughter's school meeting. Maybe you could show up for once." And Ernie Hudson shows up, hugs the daughter, and the daughter's like, "Hooray! I get a hug from the president," which is exactly what I wanted because I'm a child.
Dude.
And then
in this scene, this is one of my favorite scenes. I laughed out loud when I saw this because it's Parents' Day at this elementary school or middle school or whatever. And the sign for it blew me away. It was like a white bed sheet and they took black spray paint and put Parents' Day on it and like hung it from a chain link fence. It was like, what the hell kind of school is this? It was
they didn't know. Yeah,
greatest sign I've ever seen.
They didn't know the president of the United States was showing up. Yeah, they probably would have done a little bit better job if they knew the president was going to be there.
I hope not. I hope they just would keep it as is.
But anyways, president hugging their daughter, and our hero goes over to his soon-to-be not-so-estranged wife and is like, "Honey, I'm riding that desk."
Oh,
the end.
That's it.
And then we see Ice-T's hand come up from a pile of rubble. Oh, and he has a fist. And he becomes Shredder.
That'd be cool.
Shredder.
This is the
Shredhead.
I like if this was the prequel to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That would be awesome.
It would be. It would make a lot of sense. But yes, it would be pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Despite all the cat drawing and Hangman and weird Funko Pop bullshit going on these streams.
Hey man, we're just having a good time.
And all you listeners can check out these wacky situations we get ourselves into on Twitch.
You guys want to see my Pokemon card collection?
I do not want to see that.
Okay. Well,
I would.
Subscribe to our Patreon. I'll bust it out.
Oh, here we go. You can be sure.
Okay, I will say
got that holographic Charizard.
Okay, I will agree to do that on a podcast where we go through all of your Pokemon cards if we get over $10,000 on the Patreon.
Ooh, I like
Okay.
that.
I'll do it. I'll do it, guys.
It's my life's mission.
And we'll do an OnlyFans, and Brown will just. What do you have in your hand there, Zach? Oh, okay.
It's my wrist.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Once again, it is his wrist support cushion.
Oh, interesting. All right, we should probably get into some reviews
I agree.
of this quote-unquote film. Is it a film? Who wants to start?
Let's go first.
You want me to start? I can do it.
Yeah, you know what, Kyle, you go
I
first.
got a lot to say about this movie. So
Say it all, Kyle.
this movie is absolutely amazing. There are some things in here that you can tell they blew the budget on, right?
Stock footage?
And then they're like, all right, we got no budget for the rest of this gosh darn film. So the submarine scenes, although it's not a Los Angeles class submarine, it is a real submarine, right? I mean, it looks legitimate. It's more legitimate than we've seen in like entirely submarine based movies. So that was kind of fun. The stealth fighter plane, awesome. I don't know how they got it in this movie, but you even see the shot of Ice-T driving the thing away. I was like, okay, all right, that's pretty cool. But then there's other stuff. In the beginning, when they're doing the bombing runs in Nicaragua, they're in fighter jets, right? So you think like a two-person fighter jet. You sit one person in front of the other. They're in a room, like a massive room, bigger than this room I am sitting in, side by side, just maneuvering in a fighter jet. Absolutely ridiculous. When they're in the helicopter getting dropped off. Yeah, do the spinny, do the loopy-loop there, Zach. Perfect. When they're in a helicopter getting dropped off to assault the base, they're literally just in a room covered with moving blankets, talking to each other, and they don't even have to talk loud, which is ridiculous. They're not wearing protective gear, nothing like that. And then my favorite thing, other than the Parents' Day sign, which is so good, is when Ernie Hudson got that call about the submarine, they were in the motorcade, him and this one advisor, they're in the motorcade, and they're clearly driving to Washington because they drive right past the Washington Monument. And then you look, you see, like there's a shot inside a car, and you can see the outside. The outside is like palm trees and desertish type landscape in these style houses that you'd see out there. And I was like, why? Why did they do this? They couldn't figure this out? Exactly. I don't know, Zach. You tell me. I don't know. But there's a lot of decent actors in here.
It was a surprising cast, I will say that.
I was pretty shocked. And like I think maybe now, just because we've seen like what some actors can do, like Liam Neeson and all that, when they get a little bit older, they just become these action stars. I kind of picture Ernie Hudson being our action star, but he was the president. Especially, you think Ernie Hudson's jacked. You put him versus Ice-T in that arm wrestling scene, it's no contest. But,
True.
Oh, man, weak plot all over the place. I guess not all over the place. What do you say? It's not great.
It's about a father and a love for his daughter.
Yeah. Is it? I'm going to give it. And it's supposed to be a sub movie?
Well,
debatable.
Come on,
It's called
it's a
Stealth
sub.
Fighter. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a I've enjoyed it more than others that we've watched, I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and come in at like a 2.5.
all right, guys, clear out. Coming in second, Jamie.
He was ready for it.
Pretty typical. I wanted Kyle to set the stage. I will say I found this a fun movie to watch. I really, at this point, I can recognize a lot of the scenes. I was surprised we didn't get that one where the person's in like the yellow jacket, kind of like, letting a helicopter land on a ship or waving a helicopter away. That's a pretty classic one. Not in this movie, but scenes from Agent Red pretty clearly, Crimson Tide, that kind of stuff. I will go through all of the ones that scenes were showing from this. I was surprised to see the Iron Eagle, which is a movie I watched not that long ago, and I recognized the full 6-minute flying scene from that movie. So really cutting corners on that on the production, pretty cheap looking, surprising cast given that. an overall kind of a fun movie to watch from a pretty ridiculous action point of view. Almost like I don't know, what were those Operation Delta Force, those types of
Oh.
films? Felt a little similar to that, which is just an enjoyable, fun time. This would be one that I'd maybe watch while riding my Peloton. Not a sponsor. And so not the worst, not the best. No lucky coin. Pretty weak submarine action. Ernie Hudson, good. Main character, didn't recognize him.
You know where he's
Remember
from?
Bill and Ted, fun. What's that?
You know where he's big in like a set of movies?
What?
Saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Big time Saw fan.
Yes.
And so I'm
He's
gonna
got a
come
great
in.
name, Costas Mandalore.
That is, yeah, that's really good.
That's
Very Star Warsy.
badass. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it
True.
is.
And so I'm gonna come in not quite the full Steel Sharks, but I am gonna come in a little higher than Kyle at a 3.
All right. I got to hop in here.
Wow.
There's too many people here giving too many high scores. This is not a good movie. This is a terrible movie. This is a waste of your time movie. Don't watch this movie, listeners. Listen to us, but don't watch this movie.
It's weird 'cause it was in the Jamie Good movie month.
It's like an enigma. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just not good. Kyle, you said it's not as bad as some of the other movies we've been watching. I definitely think it's as bad, if not worse. I could
really?
not stand this movie. I'm giving it a 1.
Wow. A 1. Here we go. Gloves are off.
Stay away. The Zach way.
Get in that ass, Zach.
Huh?
All right. I'm going to be a little bit closer, I think, to Zach than you guys. This movie was formulaic B-movie garbage. I thought the treachery of Ice-T was just telegraphed from the beginning, effectively. There was no surprises for the viewer. Just kind of had to wait for these terrible actors to experience the surprises. As far as it goes with other movies in this vein, this wasn't a submarine movie. It was a movie with submarines. And as you said, the submarines were pointless and useless. So I think we got to dock it even further there. It wasn't one that had a lot of the redeeming sort of funny moments, so bad that they were funny. I mean, it just had genuinely bad moments, obnoxious moments. The child actor was obnoxious. A real David Mendenhall. And still not getting anything out of you guys.
Did you look him up before tonight just for this or something?
I know David Mendenhall, dude. He's got to get on my level.
I guess, man.
But no, this movie was garbage. Does not belong in Jamie's Good Movie Month because it is not a good movie. I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Wowzers. I will say when it started, there was like some miniature work going on.
Yeah, a lot of miniature. Well, see,
and I thought maybe that was going to continue, but then it didn't.
But no, that's the thing. The miniature work is from different movies. I think
it is? Okay.
Well, it would be interesting to try to figure out how much of the movie was actually shot original footage, because huge swaths of this are from other movies.
And see, guys, that's where you're missing the point with these 1s and these 1.5s. Is like I'd mentioned in the other one, these movies should give you hope that we can one day create our own movie. Maybe we don't even have to shoot any scenes. We just piece it together from all these other movies, and
we could make a legitimate, better movie than that piling dog do.
Let's do it.
I don't know if we could, but
yes, we could.
But if you look, anyways, I'll get to it when I get into my trivia. But a lot of movies taking a minute.
Kyle,
all from something.
Hit the theme music.
Da-da-da, he loves it, bum bum ba-da-da-ba. He hates it, bum ba. She loves it, bum ba. She hates it. Da-na-na-na-na. I love it. Da-na-na-na-na. I hate it.
No. That was spectacular. Thank you. So we have love it, hate it. Believe it or not, we have a love it. So let's be some good stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. What do we want to hear first, Mr. Jamie?
Hate it.
Okay. This comes from our guy, MJC SoCal, March 2002. This movie was horrible. This only reason I watched it was because my roommate and I were playing Mystery Science Theater 3000 to it. The technical facts are virtually all incorrect, and the acting is even worse. The producers couldn't even afford to produce their own effects. They had to steal footage from Flight of the Intruder, Crimson Tide, Bat 21, and others. Do not watch this movie unless you want a good hour and a half worth of laughs, although the director didn't intend this.
Is that the end of it?
That was, 1 out of 10.
Do you think there are many like laugh moments though? Because sometimes the movie's like so bad where you're like, oh, that was pretty good. The only thing I laughed was just that sign, which I thought was incredible, and some of the other goofs. But
I laughed when they got the back-to-back phone calls being like they're rescuing the submarine, and then a call that came like 5 seconds later being like submarine got blown up.
I mean, it is pretty good.
It was funny the way Jamie said. All right, love it.
Jamie's funnier than the movie.
Yeah, I'm laughing more. I'm laughing more.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I forgot to mention the time the captain of the submarine took out his dick right before it got blown up. Because it's just like because you reminded me how funny it was.
Dude, I wondered if you were gonna miss that.
That's a big dick energy moment, right? Just right before you die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine? What are you gonna do?
Okay.
We're gonna die. Watch this.
Guys,
somebody help me with this.
And then that's the last thing you see before you die. Like, oh my God, great.
Someone help me with it.
And Jamie's not even laughing at it.
It makes you wonder if it was if you could find if someone actually did say that and then die. The history
would actually blow up right after.
I always wanted my final words to be "Take it sleazy" and I'm out from Workaholics, but now it might just be somebody help me with this.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Oh shit. That's great, listeners. You tweet us or email us. What's the last thing you want to say before you die?
Before the submarine you're on explodes.
Before the submarine you're on explodes. What would you want to hear? Because I think we all vote for Ben.
Yeah.
So love it.
Say it.
I thought he was gonna say it.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Somebody help me with this.
Love it.
There you go.
This comes from our person, Truh. That's TRUH. March 2005. Best movie ever. This is the most amazing film I've ever seen. Everyone must take 80 minutes out of their day to bask in its splendor. The great photography, superb acting, and incredibly memorable lines. I got the satellite, I got the stealth, I got the bombs, I got the power, and please, Mr. President, don't think I won't use them. What more do you need? My only question is, where's Ice-T's Oscar? Every scene is a gem, from William Sadler's beratement of Costas Mandalore to the Wishmaster's bedroom escapades to the final showdown between Mitchell and T. The list goes on and on. The best part of all, and you must view the entire film to understand this, is that the plot is completely fluid and realistic. One final note. Stealth Fighter was released the same year as The Matrix. Only a fool would not recognize Stealth Fighter's clear superiority. Enjoy.
Wow. Not loving the ironic tone to that one. You know?
I like it.
You think it's serious? I don't think so.
No, that didn't feel like a genuine 10 out of 10.
My favorite, my legitimate favorite portion of that one was when he said everyone should take 80 minutes out of their day to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you everything you need to know about this movie. Everyone needs to take 79 minutes out of their day. Really carve it out for this gem.
This
All right,
movie longer than 80 minutes, so you're just gonna write off the last 10.
Well, I mean, who needs to see Parent Day, right? Parents Day.
Dude, if you miss that flag, you're missing out. I'll say that.
True. All right, I'm gonna get into a little trivia. I don't have that much for this guy, so that should be okay. Most of the trivia has to do with what movies they actually take footage from. There was a fun one amongst the actual trivia for this movie, which is that Kostas, Mandalore, and Ice-T are actually good friends in real life. Huh.
Best buddies forever.
But okay, so if you guys had to guess the number of movies that footage was used from in constructing this film, what would the number he would think it is?
7.
Okay, Zach says 7.
I'm gonna go 10.
Okay, Kyle says 10.
I liked 7 as well. I'll go 8.
Okay, the answer is 14.
Wow.
So
Seriously?
Diamonds Are Forever, which is a satellite. Some of them I know what it's from. The other ones are kind of just a stock footage used. Sometimes they explain it. But Diamonds Are Forever, it's a satellite. Dogs of War, probably one of the... My guess is that's when he blows up the Thailand deal with like the huts that get blown up. But that's just a guess. Iron Eagle, as I said, is when he's flying around with his daughter. Bat 21, I'm not totally sure. Hunt for Red October is the sub exploding. Navy SEALs, also not sure. I just watched that movie. I didn't necessarily recognize anything. Fight of the Intruder was the first battle. Interceptor is all of the stealth fighter. Blown Away was the first thing that Ice-T blows up the ship where they're doing something in Russia. That one's from Blown Away. Clear and Present Danger, I'm not sure. Crimson Tide would have been some of the submarine footage. Under Siege 2, I think also is probably a Dark Territory. It's not submarine. I don't know what that one is. Down Periscope, which is the World War II. That's the submarine footage in terms of the submarine used. And then Executive Decision, I'm not sure about. Probably one of the fighter planes or whatever. But yeah, 14 different ones. They also reference Men in Black, as we mentioned.
I still can't believe, man, 14 movies.
14 different movies in which we used footage from. That's what I'm saying. It would be interesting to figure out exactly how much of the 89 minute or whatever the runtime was actually from another film. My guess is that it's probably about 30 minutes or so is from other films. And then they have original footage, which covers the other 50 minutes or so.
See, guys, it's doable. Very doable.
Okay, and then I'm not going to do a full Jeopardy, but I did find one quiz question that references stealth fighters, and I thought it was a fun one. I thought it was real fun. So I will do it for you guys. It's an $800 question. The U.S. Air Force's stealth fighter aircraft, known as the F-22, also bears the name of this, quote, robbing dinosaur.
Kyle, buzz.
Oh, I
What is
got
it?
Raptor?
It is the Raptor. It is the Raptor. That was a show from 2008, September 17th, 2008. Kids Week Reunion Game 3. It was all kids in college. That was correctly answered by, let me see. That was a triple stumper. Kyle, you beat this kid. One of them's a senior from MIT.
Well. Look at that,
idiot.
children.
Yeah.
Pie on your face, right, Jamie, for attending that shithole?
MIT, PhD. And so then last thing, we got a little Phantom Zone.
Engage the Phantom.
Phantom's engaged, sir.
So the easiest one is just I was kind of going in order of credits, which is actually just by seemingly I think it's by when people are seen or something, because Ryan Mitchell's wife, Erin Mitchell, is played by Erica Eleniak. She gets the third billing somehow, Eleniak, and she was in Under Siege, which is a film we have not watched, but does include a submarine. We also have Andrew Divoff playing Roberto Menendez, our main bad guy, until Ice-T becomes the main bad guy. And he was in Hunt for Red October as one of the Russians. And And so obviously we have seen that one. And then of course Tommy Lister. I mean, you see Tiny Lister around, and we know him from he was actually in a prisoner in Austin Powers Goldmember, which we obviously watched. I've used that one before with Tiny Lister. So multiple ways to get here, and as I mentioned, it wasn't something that I thought was going to be hard because it's a surprisingly good cast given the quality of the film.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Kind of
shocking, really.
Yeah, William Sadler, like you obviously recognize him from things. I mean, he was in like Shawshank Redemption and all kinds of movies where, you know, there are some of the best movies that's ever been made. And there's William Sadler, and then he's also in Stealth Fighter.
I know. It's.
So, I don't know.
You gotta wonder if they got some gambling debts or something like that, and he's trying to resolve. I don't know.
That is a job.
It is. All right. It's subs worldwide. All right. It's not subs worldwide, actually. And this actually kind of aided me in that Jeopardy question, so I really can't claim that I would beat an MIT student.
Oh, there we go.
So this movie is Stealth Fighter, and I figured, let's look at the Stealth Fighter. And I'm no Stealth Fighter expert, but
hey,
from
don't denigrate yourself.
What I could
think you are
see,
a Stealth Fighter expert.
What I could see, the plane we were looking at was the Lockheed F-117A Nighthawk, which
I agree.
was preceded by the F-22 Raptor. So the F-117 had its first flight. When do you guys think that the Stealth Fighter was introduced? When do you think this
61.
thing came out? Holy cow. Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's 1987.
Okay.
I'll go 84.
June of 2000. I'm just kidding. 1981.
One was clean. I was thinking I knew it was going to be Reagan. Reagan was going to be the guy who.
Zach, so I guess point goes to you. You did not go over.
Oh, well, hot damn. This is my jam.
Ground rules.
Yeah. So when do you guys think that these were officially retired and the F-22 was now the main dog?
And do we still have the F-22?
Yes.
2003.
Okay.
2000. No, 1990.
1981 to when? You think 98?
1998.
Gosh, you keep taking what I want to guess. I'll go 2000.
Zach again. 2008.
My God, really?
Boom.
Yes. So now, while they are officially, quote unquote, retired, people have reported seeing them flying around this year. And they're still doing some kind of testing flights with them, which is kind of exciting. So there were 64 of these built. There were 5 prototypes and then 59 like real deal ones. And they were kept a secret. So the first flight I'd mentioned was in 1981. They did not even let the public know these were around until 1988, which to me I was kind of surprised anyway. If you have a stealth fighter, it's kind of something you want to keep hidden, stealth. But you're like, I'm going to show it off.
Kyle. You're funny.
Right? Well, I mean, why? Why are you going to show it off to the public, right? Every other nation, they're like, dude, keep this stuff under wraps. We don't want people seeing it, whatever. We're just flexing. Hey, we got these. They became extremely popular during the Gulf War. And I get all my information from Wikipedia, so I hope this is correct. But they became very popular during the Gulf War. And many people, as us, as this movie is called, they call these stealth fighters. They were primarily, actually I think strictly used for bombing land targets. So they weren't really doing air-to-air combat like a fighter jet. And out of 64 built, only one of them was taken down by a SAM site in Yugoslavia. And that was in 1999. And at first I thought this said Operation Delta Force. I was super excited, but it said during Operation Allied Force. the pilot was recovered, so that's good. 6 hours later.
Was that the inspiration for Behind Enemy Lines?
Is it?
I don't know.
Well,
I just know
sounds
that
like
was
it could
about a
be.
pilot who went down behind enemy lines in Yugoslavia.
Well, then very well could be. Pilot was recovered within 6 hours by you.
Oh, no, never mind. Behind
okay.
enemy lines. He was behind enemy lines for hours and hours. Way more than 6.
Yeah, so he was recovered by the U.S. Air Force pararescue team. And something that I thought was also kind of interesting was the United States did not destroy the wreckage of the aircraft. I think they didn't want to waste their time because the technology at this point was from 81 and it was 99. So speculation that China and Russia got it. But, I mean, hey, the U.S. is like, it's so old. Who cares? They probably already stole it somehow.
They're like, you're hurting our ears with your plane.
Yep, exactly. So that's it. Stealth fighters worldwide.
Wow.
Bet
I
on-
like
Only
that.
on Submersion, folks.
It's
only,
true.
Only there in Wikipedia. Can you find this information? All right. Do you have a countdown, good sir?
Of course.
Tube 3 ready to fire, sir.
Commence the countdown.
Give it to me.
Alrighty. So I had a couple of different things that I was toying around with. I said, we could do comebacks because we're bouncing back after some hiatuses there. There was also a great trader moment here with Ice-T, so I looked at the greatest traders in history. But ultimately I've landed on a little bit of a challenge. I thought this would be the most fun. I like doing these, but these are fun facts of the greatest ices in the world.
Nice.
Not,
Can I ask
not
a,
ISIS, but ice.
can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
And you can not answer if you're going to use it for a later countdown. But what did you have as your top trader? Or are you going to use it later?
Top trader was wasn't Benedict Arnold.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to know if it was Benedict Arnold. or not.
Wasn't Cassius Brutus or whatever his name was.
Wasn't Judas?
It was Judas Iscariot. There we go.
Hmm.
But no, we are comparing ices tonight. Fun facts for Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Vanilla Ice. You guys have to tell me which of these fun facts belong
I like
to
this.
which ice. All right. So of those three, I want you to tell me. I'm going to start right here with this one. Their real name is O'Shea.
No, that's Ice Cube.
That's Ice
I'll
Cube.
go with him. He was very.
You guys trust Jamie?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
very
pretty
quick.
sure.
That is correct.
Yeah. No big deal. Don't worry about it.
This ice never met his biological father.
I'm thinking Vanilla Ice.
I was going to say Vanilla Ice as well. I feel like it's Vanilla Ice.
I'd go with it.
You guys are good.
Oh.
You're vibing tonight. That's 2 for 2. This ice authored the first hip hop EP to ever go platinum.
That's got to be Ice Cube.
I don't know.
Yeah, one would think it's Ice Cube.
Because think about, what is Ice-T?
Yeah, I think it's Ice Cube.
Yeah, I think it's Ice Cube. Like with, I can't even think of their name right now. That's horrible, Kyle.
NWA.
Yes.
This was not with NWA, but it was Ice Cube.
Oh.
It was a solo effort from Ice Cube.
Really?
Wow, that's crazy.
for
I would have thought it been
obviously
NWA.
one would think because they had such, they had gigantic hits. But yeah, Ice Cube obviously was a successful artist, but you wouldn't think I don't think he had anything that was like off the charts, popular kind of stuff. I guess I could have seen it being potentially Vanilla Ice. Ice Baby could have.
Oh, that would have been ridiculous.
Ice baby.
Yeah, he had a EP or whatnot that had Ice Baby on one side and had a cover. Oh God, I can't think of what it was. Oh, it's left me.
Good
Play,
podcasting.
play that
Next
play
up.
that funky music, White Boy, on the other side. But it didn't go platinum. It was a cover of
I
that.
wonder why.
This next one. This ice studied to be a pimp.
Oh.
That's gotta be iced tea, right?
Iced tea, yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Studied
No,
to
it's
be
iced
a
tea.
pimp.
Iced tea.
Where were those classes, huh?
Iced tea. You got it. You're 4 for 4. This ice has a degree in architectural drafting.
It's Vanilla Ice. Or sorry, yeah.
That sounds right.
Okay.
That's your first
What?
one for the night. That's Ice Cube.
Ice Cube does?
Really?
Ice
Huh.
Cube has a degree in architectural drafting.
He seems so young.
This ice dated Madonna.
Iced tea.
Is that right?
I don't know. What are you going with?
Sure, let's do that.
Vanilla Ice, boys.
Seriously,
He
man.
really,
I guess you guys aren't as cold as ice.
he rocketed to the moon. He's like Icarus.
His first feature film was titled Cool as Ice.
Oh, that's Vanilla Ice. Get out of here. Come on.
There you go.
That's badmovietwins.com. That's badmovietwins.com special right there. You guys,
This-
anyone ever seen Cool as Ice?
I have
did
not.
Oh, it's fun. It's a real weird movie.
This ice has a son named Little Ice.
That sounds like
Vanilla?
iced tea.
It does. That does sound like an iced tea thing. But could it be an ice cube, or would his son be called like crushed ice?
His son is an actor, and I don't know
Mhm.
him as Little Ice.
His eldest son is O'Shea Jr.
Right.
But Little Ice is a son of...
It's gotta be
Iced tea?
then.
It is Ice T.
Yes.
This ice shares a Grammy with Quincy Jones and Ray Charles.
This one I don't know. Does anyone else know this one?
Vanilla.
That sounds
I don't know.
like something Ice Cube would have. I wouldn't
Yeah,
think.
I kind of agree with that.
I wouldn't think like iced tea or Vanilla Ice producing something with those two.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Ice Cube.
It is Ice T.
Seriously? Come on. For what song? Do you
Ice
know?
T. I do not know.
Ah.
No. And lastly, this ice served in the Army.
Got to be.
Vanilla. That's
You think it's vanilla?
sure.
I don't think it's vanilla. I think it's probably ice. I don't even know. Yeah, maybe vanilla. I have no
It
idea.
might be.
We're gonna go
Go
vanilla
with
ice.
Zach.
Going with Vanilla Ice. Correct answer is our boy Ice T.
Really? So he's
Ah.
studying to be a pimp and was in the military.
That is correct. He had a very diversified youth there, it sounds like.
Yeah, diversifying his portfolio.
Yeah.
Go multiple directions there.
But those
Wow.
are our ice fun facts for Ice T, Ice Cube, and Vanilla Ice.
We did pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
What
We
was that,
started
like
really strong.
We were hot
Six
right there.
for 10, maybe. It's not too bad.
Thank God you threw that cool as ice bone to me.
My word.
A few of them had to be easy for you.
Uh-oh. Is it time?
Uh-oh. It is time. Can hear him slapping his mouse pad against his head.
Zach Facts, it's Zach Facts. When you're going,
going
down,
down.
get some Zach Facts. When you're going down.
You want it? Come get it. Zach Facts.
It's
What are you
aggressive.
guessing?
20.
I like it.
Knock,
What are you
knock.
guessing? Who's there?
How many? How many? Let's see. What do we always do? It's
I,
like 3.5 for the over/under.
Yeah, over under
Hello,
3.5.
I'm here for the Zach Facts and the over-under. Yeah, we'll go with over-under 3.5.
Over. Oh yeah. You going under?
I'm going under.
This guy hated this movie, so he might have some good stuff here.
I'll go over. I'm gonna say he's got 4.
Well, then let's just hit it. Fact number 1. Ice-T originally auditioned for the role of President Westwood. And to this day, he believes his character was the president.
Well, I mean,
Interesting.
at the end, he kind of was.
Yeah, he was calling the shots.
He's like a billion with a B, popping those P's.
Yep. Ernie Hudson said this was not the quality of film he had hoped it would be.
It was better.
He didn't say anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's just got to be a fact.
Maybe. And the third fact and final fact.
Oh.
Is that a Zach fact, though?
No, I got a fact.
Oh, no, I'm saying, is it a Zach fact? This is the final fact? Or is that a fact?
Guess you just have to stick around.
Okay.
So, Costas Mandylor wrote a crossover called Stealth Fighter 2, I Saw You Coming, which would introduce both of his characters as twin brothers.
No, yeah.
That's good.
You'd had to have seen this movie and the Saw movies to get it.
Okay. Is he the subject? Is he what that show The Mandalorian's about?
That would
Yeah,
have been a great Zach fact.
I guess.
He's
Missed
the one. He's like
opportunity.
when they take off the helmet, it's Costas Mandalore.
When
Yeah.
someone else comes in with Zach facts, Zach's just like, yeah, whatever.
He's extremely disappointed in us not fully understanding, and then Jamie throwing
Oh.
that dog shit on there.
Sorry.
Joking.
As Justin Bieber would say, sorry.
Did we cut?
Was that your last fact?
Thank you for listening to Submersion. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. If you like what you heard, please leave us a rating wherever you listen. Want to interact with us? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also love to get messages from all of you. If you have a suggestion, a comment, or just anything you'd like to share, please email us at macestudios@gmail.com.